All right, my fifth graders, some new words for you. These are all words from Mom's Latest Good Idea or permission slips. If you want to look up where they are, the page number is there, although you don't have to. One of the sentences, usually the first one I give, is similar to one, how it's used in the text. So make sure you are writing the definition and one or both of the sentences or your own. So skittish is the first one. Easily startled or excited. So in the story, it talks about how the cow is very skittish. Like he was going to hook something up to it. So the cow is very skittish until it got used to the farm, is sort of how it was used in the text. Or the dog was skittish, so it didn't like to be pet. Doesn't have to be an animal. It could be a person. Remember, as I do this, I'm going to go through them, but you can always pause if you need more time. Blinkers. Now, this is an interesting one because we often hear it used in terms of like putting on a car blinker to signal that you're turning one direction or the other, where the lights like blink. This uses it more like the word blinders, so which is something that prevents vision to the side. You'll often see them on horses that are like pulling something. So it prevents vision to the sides. In the story, it talks about how Tyler puts his hands up like this to make blinkers. And I think his mom says something like put your hands down or something. Or maybe she doesn't say to put his hands down, but he just knows. Because she often says horses have blinkers, not humans. So Tyler puts his hands by his eyes, creating blinkers. Next word is cooped up. So sort of an expression, which means unpleasantly confined. You might feel cooped up in the classroom when you can't leave. Talked about how the girls that Tyler was maybe going to get to know, the girls are cooped up in the trailer. People often feel cooped up in the winter in Minnesota since it's harder to leave the house. Maybe during COVID, especially early on, if you didn't leave your home much, you felt rather cooped up because you couldn't go anywhere. I think it comes from like a chicken coop is where they keep the chickens at night, so that it's like a place that they keep them. Next word is responsibilities, probably a word you have heard or similar to it. It's like what you have responsibility for, things that a person has to do. So vacuuming is one of Jose's responsibilities. Doing gymnastics makes me feel like I have no responsibilities, was from permission slips. She talked about how flying in the air just made her feel free, like she had no responsibilities. As we get older, we have more freedom, but we also have more responsibilities. Compete means to try to win or get something that others are also trying to get. Again, probably a word you've heard. Sometimes these might not be new words, but a good to add to our vocabulary, add to our writing, understand when we come across them in our reading. The two friends competed for the starring role in the play. The story, it talked about how she competes in all of the gymnastics events. I think we got, one more. Assistant. An assistant is a person who helps others. Could be something other than a person, but usually it's a person who assists. So assist means to help. So an assistant is somebody who helps others. So the office assistant answered the telephone. In this story, it talks about how she was becoming friends with the teaching assistant in her class. So I just shortened it a little bit. She was a teaching assistant in my class. Any questions? Let me know. Remember, you're going to pick 4 of them and write your own sentences for them in your exit slip. Make sure you do have them all written on your page.